everyone, it's Kim from Dodges and Daisies. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time, welcome to my channel. I am a stationery channel, a stationery lover. I do journaling, snail mail, and stationery products, as well as journals on the go. I really like to explore local towns and just bring my journaling with me, so there's also some kind of local travel and exploration that has to do with stationery on this channel too. But I just wanted to welcome you guys and thank you so much again for joining me. Today we are going to do a two-part video. The first is an unboxing and the second will be doing a very short spread to conclude our 10 for 10 or 10 supply challenge. Since I started this channel, I want to say a couple months ago, I believe this is my 12th video on here maybe. We definitely have under 20 videos, but I've been doing something intermittently called a 10 supply challenge, which is just using 10 supplies to create really simple journal spreads. So we will be doing our very last one today. It will be a short, simple spread, and then we can move on to different journaling styles, even though they will probably be pretty simple because I have a trip coming up to go home to New York in maybe like 3 weeks. I know it's less than a month. I'm going to be using a tiny version of that larger leather journal that I've been using for when we go home to New York. I started the cover page already, and my plan for this is to just be, again, really simple. You guys know that I love simple journaling. My goal is to design one half of these pages and leave the other half for writing. This way, like this will be designed, this will be left for writing. And there are, even though this is a tinier one, quite a lot of signatures in this one too. I have about 3 weeks until we leave to go home, and then we're home for like a week. So I'm just going to be patient with myself, but at the same time kind of diligent as well, trying to get as much of this pre-designed as possible before we leave, because I haven't seen my family in almost a full year. It's been almost a full year since we've been home. So I really don't want to take too much time designing this journal, but more just recording memories. So I'm going to, over the next 3 weeks, just be, like I said, designing one half of these pages. This way, when we get to New York, I can just write down on this side what went on that day, special memories, but it's also going to be open for ephemera. So say I pick up a sticker somewhere or a receipt from a favorite shop, or, you know, just any kind of memory, ticket stub or train ticket, you know, who knows what we're gonna do. That extra blank page will also be really helpful, not just for journaling, but for storing ephemera from just the days that we're there and keeping memories that way. Because I always do like to add, you know, physical items from trips that we take, because I just feel like it gives it more of like a authentic, nostalgic feel when you look through and you see like actual things from your time. So to start off with, for spring, we have brand new products in the shop, and I could not be more excited. I have partnered with a few different companies, as I mentioned in my last video, and I sell wholesale. Well, I buy wholesale and then sell in my shop. Certain companies that I feel like I really believe in and I'm really behind. I really love their products. And this spring I added somebody to the lineup, and that is Paula from Pen Paling Paula. I will list her description below, and I am just over the moon to be a United States supplier of Paula. She lives in Ireland, and her products are just absolutely gorgeous. I have been collecting them for a while. I've been really into her postcards lately, like just swapping like any postcard of hers that I see. And her spring collection, her cottagecore collection, is so, so, so beautiful. I personally would want every single one of these postcards, so to be able to offer them in my shop just makes me really happy. So we have this beautiful sunflower girl. I love that she's holding sunflowers and she's dressed in blue with a blue sky because of the crisis that's going on right now in Ukraine. Sunflower is Ukraine's flower, and as you guys know, the blue sky is part of their flag. So, you know, when these were designed, I don't think this crisis had even started. So I just think it's really wonderful that these happen to be in there, because I feel like it's showing solidarity and support with Ukraine, and kind of was ordered before I think we even knew that that was going to be such an important part of all of our lives. So the sunflower girl is here. On all of Paula's postcards, the back does have a spot for a stamp. It does have the address lines, which I personally love, and it's stamped with her information on the bottom. So that's one. We also have this little gardening girl. Her entire collection is a cottagecore collection, which I just thought was so perfect for spring. I just was in like a cottagecore mood myself. When am I not? But I loved this little gardening girl. There's just such a precious, sweet nature about these postcards. Again, all of them come with the back already made out for you, which I personally love. The cardstock is really strong. It is a matte, so it's not shiny or glossy, but it's strong. Sometimes I worry a little bit with the matte postcard, but I've been, like I said, swapping Paula's postcards for a while, and they really hold up in the mail. They're a very sturdy, like strong cardstock, which I appreciate. We have this, which is a journal. I love that it has the spring florals. I love that it has the little brass hand that we all love so much. This is just a really, really cute card for anyone who loves journaling. I just think these are absolutely precious. This is a snail mail card. Again, so many things that I feel like we in this community love. It has a wax seal stamp, it has florals, a handwritten letter. I think the quill is so beautiful. There's a postmark on this, and like I said, just great quality cards. The printing quality is beautiful, the colors are beautiful, the cardstock is strong. Anything in my shop, like I've said before, I really do stand behind, and I'm thrilled to have these added. The next two are actually two of my favorites. This might be my favorite card that I ordered from her. I know it's a little different than the others, but I don't know. There's something that's just so absolutely sweet about this. I personally love a picnic. Give me like a field with wildflowers, and I'd rather sit there than at a dinner table, and I just think this is so precious and adorable. I don't feel like it's something that you would see a lot. It's just unique to me, and I think that I'm definitely going to keep one of these for myself and hang them on the wall because it's just beautiful. And lastly, this is another one of my favorites. It's very simple, but I just love the cup of tea. I love that there is a botanical with it. There's something that's just very peaceful and very hygge about this card, and you guys know that's right up my alley. That's right up my style. So yeah, all of these will be added in the shop this week. I've already photographed them, and basically just need to get editing and then get them posted. It takes a little while to get things posted in the shop. There's a lot of like information and tagging and a lot of boring stuff I won't bore you guys with to get it up on the website, but they're already photographed, and my goal is to have all of them up available for you guys by Friday. As people who know Pen Paling Paula and are her fans know that Each month she does a very specific postcard that's only available that month. I do have a couple that she stuck in with this order and a couple of her March freebies. Because I'm not her, I don't have all of the March cards or all of the March freebies, but what I can promise you guys is that the first few orders that go out that have Pen Paling Paula, either postcards or washi tape in them, the first 2 will be getting these March cards in them. The next 3 will be getting the March freebie sticker. So it definitely, like I said, I don't have a lot of these. She just kind of stuck them in as extras, which was really sweet of her. But the first few orders will have these surprises in them. I also purchased from her a few of her washi tapes. And again, I'm just so beyond excited to be able to offer these. I bought for the shop just things that I personally felt like I would use myself and that I felt like I just got really, really attached to. So one of them was vintage postage. I have a feeling this is going to sell really, really well. It's just botanical postage stamps with little like postmarks on them. It's this one right here. This is just such a beautiful tape, and I bought it honestly because I thought, okay, this will be a good thing to have in my shop. It should sell well. But then when I saw it firsthand, like saw it in person, I was just blown away by how beautiful it was. And I was like, oh, this is probably going to be one of my favorites too. So yeah, it's really beautiful in person, and I just feel like it would be really great to stick on, you know, snail mail, postcards, even in journals. It's just a really, really beautiful washi tape. So that's called the vintage postage washi tape. Similar to the vintage postage is the vintage stationery. And I swatched that twice just because there's so many different designs that didn't even fit in just one line. So that's what this one looks like. This is just so adorable. It has letters, a quill, journal, marble statue, more mail, like this is actually how I keep my paintbrushes in a little teacup, wax seal stamps, it's just so beautiful. It's, like I said, just kind of like a snail mailer and paper crafter journaler's dream washi. I feel like the colors are really, really beautiful, even though they're very well made, and the washi is like a very strong quality and you can see the colors very well. It's not overly vibrant where I feel like it wouldn't match with anybody's style. It's both well made and well produced, but also in a muted way that I feel like could still go with, you know, people's style that tend to craft with like more muted colors. Also, I just want to mention this quickly. You get a lot of washi with her washi. It's very strong. It's not like a weak washi tape, and there's quite a lot of it. I've ordered from her just myself without, you know, worrying about the business, just like personally. And her washi tapes have lasted me forever. I've ordered them during like holidays like Christmas, and they've lasted for all of my cards and more. You really do get quite a lot with this. Another one that I swatched twice was the literature washi. These are so cute. It is the same style of girls that have been on her previous postcards. I personally love this artist. I don't know her name. I would have to ask Paul, but totally my style. I've personally been ordering and collecting this artist's postcards that Paul has been selling. And it's like those, if you guys can recognize, because they're on a lot of her previous postcards, they're the same girls. And I just thought this was really beautiful. There's definitely a coziness to this, but I feel like it could be used for any season because there's short sleeves, there's springy colors, but there's also maybe like more of a fall look, or that's kind of summery. I know I saw somebody in a little hat on here too. Where is she? There she is. But I feel like this could just be all seasons. You could use this all year long, and really great if you're a book lover or just know someone who is. Really, really cute. These 3 tiny ones are all part of the same pack. It's the Floral Trio washi tape. And these are really tiny, really thin, as you can see, compared to her other tape. But I fell in love with these 2 in particular. The red and the blue tiny florals that come in this tape are just so precious. I'm a really big fan of folk art, and these were just very folk arty to me. I can see them fitting with cottagecore themes. I could see them fitting with floral themes, spring themes, summer themes. I just feel like they're really, really versatile, and they are delicate, so you do have to kind of be a little patient when you pull them, just because of how tiny they are. But I've already used some in a spread that I made, and they are just really, really beautiful. Like I said, I didn't order anything that I didn't love myself and that I didn't feel like other people would love too. And finally, the last one is called Summer Flowers. It looks a little bright yellow on the cover, but it's actually more of a mustard. And when I put in the wholesale order, Paula actually said to me, you know, this isn't yellow, it's a little more like tan or mustardy. And I personally like that even better. You guys know how much I love daisies. There are little daisies all over this. And to me, the more like muted, mustardy, tannish yellow, just it fits honestly what I like better. For everyone that does vintage themed mail, this color goes really, really well with vintage mail. So I do just want to mention that the top does look a little bit more yellow than what it actually is. But in all honesty, guys, when I saw it, I preferred it this way. And I didn't know that before buying it, and I thought that I would prefer it that way, but I did. Okay, so I'm rambling. I didn't photograph the washi just yet, but again, by Friday, my goal is to have all of the Pen Paling Paula products up in my shop. I am so behind these products. I feel like they are high quality. I feel like they are just a really, just the coloring is great, the print is great, the quality is great, and there's nothing that I would put in my shop that I didn't stand behind. So I'm just really excited to have Paula as one of my stockists in my shop. It really is like a dream come true. She, as I mentioned in my last video, I think, is just such a wonderful human being as well as a successful businesswoman. She was able to quit her job and do stationery full time, and I think that's incredibly respectable. But not only that, but she is just a nice, supportive, sensitive person. So many of you guys have walked this health journey with me that I've been on for what seems like forever. It kind of has been forever, but it got a lot worse last year and this year. There have just been a lot of really just emotional things that have happened with this health journey that I've been on. And a lot of people in these communities have reached out and have been very supportive. But I have to say, Paula is one of the most supportive out of everybody. She has been so incredibly kind and sensitive and just supportive to me that it is an absolute pleasure of mine, not just to stock her as a business owner, but to also stock her and support her as a person, because she has been just so supportive and just wonderful, just a wonderful hearted human. Okay, so to continue with unboxing, this I'm just going to mention really quickly. This is a company called Paper Minty Studio. She's gotten really big over the last few years, so I'm sure many of you guys know who she is, but I will link her info down below too. I put in a purchase specifically for my New York journal, and as you guys can see, I've already started using some of her flowers. I just kind of wanted to stay on the path that we've been with, just using a few supplies, not getting overwhelmed with the amount of things that I had, and knowing that I wanted to make quite a lot of pages in not a lot of time. I just kind of wanted to stick with something that I knew I could like use on every page and would be really easy to use. So I have burnt flowers and champagne blooms, and they just were very like monochromatic, muted. I felt like they would go really well with anything else that I put on the page. They matched my like vintage colors that I normally use really well. And yeah, I just wanted something easy that would come together quickly, both for the 10 supply challenge and to do, as we've done before, like a really easy travel notebook that can just be put together in a really short amount of time, so that when we get to where we're going, there's no worries or problems. It just comes together easily. So that is Paper Minty Studio. I believe she's based out of Florida, and if you're in the US, really great shop. Shipping usually comes pretty quickly. So last but certainly not least is I did put in an order with Nico Zakaya, and this is my like favorite online shop. She has a store in New York City, which this is what it looks like. And even though I've been to New York City many, many times, I grew up just an hour outside of it. My dad worked in the city, always went into the city for things like birthdays or, you know, special days. I've never been to Nico Zakaya, and probably because we've lived in South Carolina for the last 5 years, so as I've gotten to know stationery kind of more and more, and the different sellers and, you know, people that make it and provide it, a lot of that journey has been here. I've loved stationery my entire life, but as I have kind of delved more into it, a lot of that journey has been in South Carolina. So we actually haven't gone. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll be able to go, but I'm not sure if we're going to be in the city the week that we go. Like I said, we haven't seen my family in almost a year, so we might be spending all of our time on Long Island, or perhaps maybe a day upstate, I don't know, but this is my dream to actually go there in person. But until then, I continue to order her goodies, and it's always just so much fun. So I order all of my letterpress labels from her. I use this one quite a lot. You've probably seen them in a bunch of my spreads. This is just little smaller labels, but I also get my larger labels from her. I've used these quite a lot. The green is the color that I buy often. This is a new one that I tried. I really, really loved the floral press around it. And these are just, the quality of the paper, it's just, I don't even know how to describe it. It feels cottony, I guess, and you can feel where it was, you know, pressed in the letterpress. It's got a bit of a three-dimensional feel to it, and they're just so beautiful. It's a vintage Japanese style that they use, and every time I've bought labels, I've just been blown away by their quality. This particular time around, I chose not only 3 I knew I would like, but I chose a fun paper pack, it's called. And it's just kind of like samples. And I'm really thankful that I did, because I kind of always buy the same things from her. But I really enjoyed seeing, like, I'm not a purpley, pinky kind of girl, but seeing how beautiful this like lavender was made me want to purchase the lavender. I just think the sample pack is like a really good idea. Like this color, I might not have gravitated toward just because it's a little bit more muted and maybe didn't stand out as much as the others, but I love it and I'm totally ordering. It's kind of like a goldish green. Totally ordering that next time. But the sample pack is a great way just to kind of get to know the different designs that she has. The red I actually usually purchase, I just hadn't this time around. And then the black, I don't know why I haven't purchased the black before, because this actually wound up being my favorite out of all of them. But definitely if you haven't used this company before, or you're not familiar with what like a letterpress feels like, or kind of the quality of paper, or just the little intricacies, like it might be a little faded or not perfect because it is done with a letterpress, it's not a printer. The sample pack is a great way to kind of just get used to all of that. But I mean, personally, for anyone that like really just loves something unique, handmade, artistic, that just feels cottony and creamy, and you know, just there's like a vintage old time feel to the quality and the care and the time put into something. Really, just these vintage Japanese style letterpress like little cards are just, they're everything. I love them. So I'll be using these in my spreads as I usually do. I use these quite a lot. I just have never done an unboxing once I've gotten them. I also ordered from her, which is great because you don't have to go through Pinkoi. Things that you can only kind of find on Pinkoi, but because she sells Japanese stationery, you can order right from New York City, and you don't have to worry about, you know, the overseas shipping or conversion with, you know, Japanese to American dollars or anything like that, which I find really convenient. I am such a fan of La Dolce Vita, as I've said before, so I ordered these little circle stickers, and I also ordered a tin. These are really, really beautiful. These are just like little couple girls, like little friends. They all have like a gal pal with them. And I don't know, they're really beautiful. She is, I believe her name is Bofa, is just one of my most favorite artists, and finding them in the US can be a little difficult. Not many shops sell like the real deal of them. They sell, you know, like what happened to me in the other video, if you watched like the knockoff version I didn't realize I was buying. But I went straight to the source this time, and yeah, the quality is just so beautiful. The printing is vibrant, the cardstock sticker is thick, the glue on the sticker is just, you know, a lot stronger, and they're beautiful. Just really, really happy to have a stationery shop that sells gorgeous Japanese stationery in the United States, because sometimes things are hard to find or confusing to buy. So yeah, just really super happy with my purchase from them. Again, as with Paper Minty Studio, as with Pen Paling Paula, I will list any information that I have about Nico Neko Zakaya in the description down below. And I would love it if you guys checked out any of these shops, because not only do they have really, really beautiful products, but they're small business owners, just like me and just like a lot of you. So, you know, their heart and soul went into curating products for their business, or they have a brick and mortar, or they stamp things themselves. And yeah, I just really like supporting anybody like that, anybody that's working hard to make a dream come true, and just wanted to give a shout out to those three companies. All right, that is my spiel for the day, and I will cut this here, and then I'll come back to do the second part of the video. Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 of this video. I did just want to show you some of Paula's washi tape kind of in action. I did a few spreads over the last few days. I just, like I've said with this journal a bunch of times, this is just a place to pour out my heart and write. So a lot of times I will pre-design a few pages, and then just be able to kind of sit down and pour my heart out without kind of worrying about design elements. I kind of get that over with first when I'm in like a creative mood, and that's fun and not pressure. And then when I feel the need to write, and sometimes I'm not in that mood, there's some available space in this journal to do that with. So that's what I did. I did 3 pre-made pages that I'll probably fill up tonight, just because there were some things that I wanted to write about. I am using Pisco letters, ploys, figure drawings again. These are, I believe, called Sunglass Girls. We were using Ploy's artwork quite a lot in the beginning of this journal when we first started the 10 supply challenge. She came out with some new like springy, summery ones, so of course I had to buy them. I will leave Pisco letters and her information below as well. Quite a few artists this time around that are getting shout outs, but that makes me happy because, like I said, they are all people like you and me who just are small business owners and are just trying to make their dreams come true. So in any small way that I can shout them out and use their products just makes me happy. And she's so talented. These ladies were just really my style. I'm kind of like a bohemian type person and really connected with this artwork in particular. So this is the Summer Flowers washi tape from Pen Paling Paula. As you can see, it is kind of that mustardy daisy combo, which just looks really great. I have a vintage letter, like a actual vintage letter, and these are actual vintage cutouts from books, along with some vintage and antique postage stamps. This is again an authentic vintage scorecard and some handmade paper. Nothing in the spread aside from these 2 things are printables. This is an actual letter as well. So this kind of color tape just goes really, really well with that kind of muted vintage feel, and I loved it. I wound up using it in all 3 of these spreads. So this was the first one. This was the second one. You guys can see I used it here. Again, this is an actual ticket stub. This was out of a vintage book. This is a vintage scorecard. This is a vintage bus ticket. Here we have the Neko Zakaya little square label, but this is real vintage lace. I'm just on a kick a bit lately of, yes, I love printables. You guys know I adore printables, but using up my vintage treasures that I kind of kept hoarding and not using. I'm trying to use up a little bit more. And I feel like they just give such an authentic and beautiful richness to journal pages when it's not solely printables, but you have some like actual, like real vintage pieces. Just personally, you guys know I adore printables. I buy printables. I sell printables. I have nothing against them. I just think that there's something just kind of like really rich and fun and interesting when you stick actual ephemera pieces in with them. So this was another spread, and again I used Paula's tape. And the last spread, this was from 1910, a little postcard. I absolutely loved that. I used Paula's tape again. This is out of a vintage botanical book. I've been sharing a lot of these pages. They're really precious pages. I'm so happy I stuck some in my own journal because I've been sharing them a lot with like my Patreons and my like Happy Mail and vintage ephemera pack people that have bought that in my shop. I've kind of been giving them out like crazy lately, and I'm like loving sharing them, but also really happy that I kept a couple to use in my own spreads because they're really, really beautiful. And yeah, we have Ploy's lovely ladies again, and some vintage pieces, and Paula's tape. So I did want to show you guys kind of like a real life version of what the washi that I'll be selling looks like. And I've just really been enjoying it. I feel like it matches really, really well. And yeah, so those 3 pages are finished, and I'll be filling those up probably tonight. But this is our big version. A lot of people ask me about this. It's from a company called Sugar Boo. I believe you can look up Sugar Boo. I know they have an Instagram page, and order these online. I personally see them a lot in person in like little boutiques and kind of like vintage style home decor stores and bookshops. Like, I've seen them in person quite a lot, but I do believe you can find these online. I get asked about this journal, I feel like 10 times a week. Where did you find it? It's really big, it's really wonderful. The quality of paper is delicious. So it's called Sugar Boo. I'll list that below too. But I'm going, like I said, to use the teeny tiny little Sugar Boo for our New York trip. And I really love, one of the things that I love not only about the beautiful leather and the pages, that they feel handmade. Again, they have that kind of cottony, handmade feel to them. Each one has quite a lot of signatures in it, so you really do get a lot of bang for your buck with these. But I also love the sayings on them. I chose two that the sayings just really meant a lot to me. This says, to do the useful thing, to say the courageous thing, to contemplate the beautiful thing. That is enough for one man's life, and that's T.S. Eliot. I feel like I just want to collect every single one of these journals just for the beautiful quotes on them. So I'm going to keep kind of with this style. I think I'm going to be using the La Dolce Vita stickers mostly. I'm not going to be too strict with myself. But yeah, we'll just do a really, really simple spread today. And I just think that as much as possible, I'm going to be trying to just work on this journal a little bit every day. And like I said before, I'm only going to be doing half of it. So this half will be saved for like word journaling about whatever that day brought, or it'll be saved for ephemera from that day, whether ticket stubs or receipts or stickers, or, you know, sometimes if you go to a shop, they stamp their bag. A lot of times I'll cut out the little emblem on the bag and I'll stick that in a journal. I really, like I said before, just love, you know, going through an old journal of mine and having physical pieces from wherever we were, like in that journal. It just, there's, I don't know, a sense of authenticity and memory kind of associated and connected with that. So this is our last 10 supply challenge, and I just realized I didn't even tell you guys what supplies I was using. One of my supplies is simply vintage paper. I got this cute little bridge paper, really old, really easy to tear, in a recent Happy Mail. That's 1. The La Dolce Vita sticker is 2. The Paper Minty Studio Flowers is 3. We have the Nico Neko Zakaya label, which is 4. Pen Paling Paula's little Daisy Summer Tape is 5. And we have these vintage stamps as 6. So again, not even using 10 different supplies, we're just going to be using 6. And I'm just going to show you guys just how simple and easy putting together a really quick spread is. And that's my goal with this notebook, is that these are just going to come together really easily, and then I can have most of this done by the time we leave, so that while we are there, I don't have to think about, you know, making this journal. I don't have to think about the design elements of this. I can just simply think about keeping track of the day, and that means that I can be really mindful and really present with my family and with my home, which is Long Island. I can, you know, concentrate on just my family and the places that I love, the people that I love, and still come back to South Carolina with a journal that's beautifully decorated, and I didn't have to think about it while there. I did it all here, or mostly here, and yeah, that's the goal with this. So that's what I'll be working on. And I'll probably do, even though this 10 supply challenge is finished, I'll probably be doing a couple more pages with you guys, just because this is going to be, like I said, a really quick and easy journal to do. And I am all about quick and easy. And I did promise that I would continue to offer simplicity in journaling even when this challenge was over, and I definitely plan to do that. I really, really love simplicity in crafting. Yeah, pages done. We used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 supplies and took us 5 minutes. It's a really complete spread. I can use the label for the date of, the first day that we get there, or maybe a place that we visit that first day. And then I have this space to write about it, or to add photos from it, or, like I said, ephemera from it. And yeah, just a simple page, came together really easily, but I love it. I think it's really cute. And my next video will probably just be making a couple more pages that are similar to this. And I really love, if you guys can see, that crafting and journaling does not have to be hard or difficult. You can kind of just go with what is in your heart. And right now my heart has been all about simplicity, not complicating things, lowering my stress, just being very mindful and cozy. And yeah, when I sit at this little space, laughing because I just dropped my glue stick, that's what I feel. I surround myself with plants. I just added some more. I potted one in an old teapot. I surround myself with candles and fresh flowers, and I try to keep things as simple as possible, and just kind of what's in my heart, whatever is in my heart, I just allow to come out on the page. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to doing a couple more pages in this little notebook before we go. And I will probably be doing a bit of a vlog when we're on Long Island, just because I enjoy sharing my home with you, and I really, really love like the journaling in public places kind of feel. I think it's so cool when you actually get to journal in the spot that you are, and there's just something kind of old-fashioned and cool about that to me. It will be about journaling and stationery and local shops and small businesses and all things Long Island that I love. So appreciate you guys so much. If you enjoy this content, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up. I know all YouTube people say this, but those thumbs up, those comments, those subscribes, they help so much with growing a channel, and this channel is brand new. It's really tiny, so anything like that I appreciate so much. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. I promise every video I try to make shorter and I try to talk less. Let's see if it worked this time. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful day or night.